What up, my people?
Hey,
back here for another reaction. Got my friend Sebi back for another one.
Sir, what's up?
Kind of got a lot of views on the last video. It's this kid.
No.
Anyways. So, yeah, today we got a couple things we're going to be reacting to together. This will be my friend's first reaction to this particular trailer. This is the Halloween Ends concept trailer. This is something that someone created based on the CinemaCon footage that came out about a month and a half ago, I think. Basically, they had like a breakdown of what was in this trailer, and they described it as basically there's a bunch of flashbacks to the original 1978 movie, kind of building the hype and the tension for what is culminating to be the end in this franchise, or this particular run of Halloween movies, this trilogy, wrapping it all up. But he basically, I guess, put everything in here that was from that footage. So the flashbacks, I guess the trailer ended with people saying that Laurie basically stabs Michael in his hand and is like standing over him with a knife. Hey guys, this is just a little tidbit that I wanted to edit into this video to give you guys a little bit more clarification. So yeah, I'm going to timestamp in this video. If you guys don't want to listen through all this, I'll skip it to us getting into the reaction. But you can stick around and listen to this segment of the video. If not, you can just skip forward to the reaction of the video if you're not really interested in knowing all the extra details here. So this is an article from that CinemaCon footage that I was mentioning that the trailer was based on, the fan-made trailer that is. So this article from Collider Video says, first Halloween Ends trailer reactions call it scream heavy, brutal, and intense. The first trailer for the final installment in the trilogy premiered at CinemaCon, which was on, I think, April 27th or the day before that. So it basically says, the Halloween franchise is one of the most epic horror franchises in film history, and with the final installment in the new Jamie Lee Curtis-led reboot series having recently wrapped, fans are eagerly awaiting the conclusion of the decades-long fight between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. Halloween initially hit theaters in 1978, and since then the story of Michael Myers has been through many iterations, though none quite as successful and effective as the latest trilogy. Halloween 2018 reinvigorated the franchise, taking up the story as a direct sequel to the original, following Michael and Laurie facing off once more, 40 years after the events of the first movie. So Halloween Kills hit theaters last summer, and though it suffered from classic middle child syndrome, the film slashed into the hearts of fans and left audiences on the edge of their seats waiting for the final installment. During the Universal panel at CinemaCon, critics and attendees got a look at the first trailer for Halloween Ends. Curtis herself was in attendance to present the footage, saying, "It has been the ride of my life to portray Laurie Strode since 1978. She went on to preview the trailer, telling the audience that the horror lets us confront what we can't control, and that is this is Laurie's last stand, definitively her last movie as Laurie Strode against Michael Myers." And then the article goes on to talk about some reactions. This is from Steven Weintraub. He's a Collider insider who does interviews, and I know him pretty well. He said, first trailer for Halloween Ends uses footage from all the films that tie everything together and ends with Jamie Lee Curtis fighting Michael Myers for the last time. Thumbs up. CinemaCon. These are just a series of tweets from people who attended. Jamie Lee Curtis jokingly shaded the audience at CinemaCon because they didn't give her a standing ovation. And Halloween Ends, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers meet for the last time. Trust me, it's going to fuck you up. Laurie, and when she said she promises, she means Jamie Lee Curtis. The trailer is legitimately terrifying, and that's something that got me really interested to see how this movie is, because I genuinely want this to like have a lot of fear factor, because Kills was more about the actual kills and like reminding people why Michael is such a crazy, unique character. Let me see here. I think this is a thread of. Huge applause for Jamie Lee Curtis. This one goes on to say, huge applause for Jamie Lee Curtis presenting Halloween Ends with twin sister theater workers. Thank you for putting up with assholes. She promises this is Laurie's last stand. Mama's tired, but it's going to fuck you up. Trailers scream heavy and brutal. A lot of the same thing being said. But the first trailer, right here, it says, every scream, every scare, every slash has led to this. Uses old footage from the current canon movies and ends with a battle between Michael and Laurie in a kitchen where Laurie attacks him by surprise. Universal cut together a great sizzle for the Halloween franchise, which culminated in our first look at Halloween Ends. Saw Laurie and Michael going at it. She comes out of hiding and goes after him, drawing blood from each other. So the first trailer for Halloween Ends, it's mostly old footage, but culminates in an intense battle between Michael and Laurie in a kitchen where Laurie attacks him. Let's fucking go. CinemaCon. We just got a first look at Halloween Ends featuring a wild brawl between Laurie and Michael in a kitchen fighting each other. Michael throws Laurie across the room. Laurie grabs a knife and stabs Michael through the hand. It ends with Laurie holding a knife over a trapped Myers. Others are saying that the new trailer serves as an excellent tribute to the beloved franchise and its iconic characters. The trailer for Halloween Ends serves as a tribute to the legacy of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Fans of this franchise look like they're in for a real treat as this franchise comes to an end. The trailer looked awesome. And that makes me really excited to know that there's people positively receiving it. Paying us a great reel of Laurie Strode's ride through Halloween with some scary, gory, and insanely brutal scenes for Halloween Ends, including an awesome confrontation between her and Michael Myers. So this guy basically gets at the fact that they did show some scary, gory stuff from the new Ends movie, but a lot of it had to do with the flashbacks from the previous film. So that's more than like, I'd say 85% of this trailer is going to be stuff from the previous movies, and about 15% of it is newer stuff. So I like that they're not giving too terribly much away, and it's just generating hype for the culminating end. So that makes me really happy to know. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm going to cut this down and edit this into the video, but this was just to give you guys some more context on what I was describing this fan-made trailer to be. This fan-made trailer basically is taking what he heard from this CinemaCon and the reactions to the trailer and making it his own. So I just thought it was a really cool thing to tie in and give you guys a little bit more context to. But this is, like I said, this is not the actual Halloween Ends trailer. Full disclosure.
I low-key forget what happened at the end of the last movie.
So he murks the fuck out of Karen. And then
I remember they're all like attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what happened at the end.
Karen sees the window and she like goes up into the Judith's room, and then she's staring out the window.
With a monologue from sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with a monologue from Laurie, talking about how you can't escape him because he's always there. Mm-hmm. And as he's slaughtering those people, she's talking about how like evil just gets stronger. Basically, it doesn't actually die. Which fun thing about that scene, I guess they ran out of like daylight, so they had to film that final, like that scene where he's murking the whole mob. They were on like a soundstage turntable thing, so people would just walk up one by one and it would be rotating, which is why you got like different angles of everything, like the different angles of it, and they had the lighting and shit. Yeah. They were disappointed that they couldn't do it in like real like daylight, but they thought it was one of those like movie accidents where it kind of like turned out being more like it was. I thought it looked cooler. Like, it was actually like a unique looking.
That's always
scene.
The best.
Super OP, by the way. Like, got stabbed in the neck. All the shit.
Bro, I was like, how is he not dead?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
But yeah, no. So it ends with Karen getting stabbed, and then basically Laurie. No, it literally just. I remember the theatrical release. It just ended with Michael breathing over her. He like watched her fall, and then he looked back out the window with blood all over his mask, and then it cut to the title card Halloween. Okay. But there was an alternative ending scene, which I don't think you've seen yet.
Probably not.
We'll save that. I'm gonna show you that after this.
Yeah,
but yeah. So this basically is just the concept trailer that this dude created, and he incorporated to the best of his ability a unique looking trailer. With the elements of what was seen based on what people saw at the CinemaCon showing. Keep your eyes out, too, because right when that Halloween Ends trailer comes out, I will be reacting on that lickety-split.
Alright. So this is like a fan-made thing, right? Yeah. Sick, dude. Yeah, you got the music.
That's cold.
Damn.
That's cold as fuck.
I met this 6-year-old child.
Is that from the original?
Yeah. It's a deleted scene from the original.
Oh, really?
Never before. Like, I just saw that scene.
I was told there was nothing left.
That's Loomis.
Loomis's famous monologue about Michael.
No conscience, no understanding. blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. Purely and simply evil.
That was
Evil like his never stops. It just grows darker, more determined. He has followed me my entire life. He killed my friend, my family.
My name is Tommy Doyle.
They all got fucking murdered.
Bro, they were talking that shit the whole movie. They all got shit. I remember that.
Of Michael Myers.
Except for Lindsay. She's
For you,
coming.
Lord. Yeah. This dude was so cool. So these are.
I guess we're all
Allison, take his mask off.
October 14th. Is that when it's actually coming out? Or did
I think October 14th is the accurate date for the new one.
Huh.
I could check that real quick though.
Yeah, it was actually pretty sick the way he like put everything, all the clips together.
Well,
like,
what's
it was
the
really
most
nice.
interesting part about that? So that those end shots, that was like a mix of the Rob Zombie Halloween shit and
Some of his own shots too, right?
yeah, some of his own
Yeah.
stuff. Basically they described the trailer as it's all flashbacks building hype to this movie, and then they only showed so little from a confrontation with Laurie and Michael, which I love because the past two trailers for the past two movies they've done, the 2018 they didn't give a shit ton away. They maybe gave away like one of the best kills. Halloween Kills, they gave away the best scene in the trailer, and that was definitely like the firefighter sequence was just impressive.
Yeah.
Like that was I think he said the most painstaking, like strategically challenging sequence of the entire movie, which rightfully so because you're playing with fire. But yeah, so basically it flashbacks and then it gets to the part where it's just the ends footage, and I guess the footage is described as Laurie and Michael, like they're brawling it out. They're like fucking each other up too. Like he's beating the shit out of her, she's beating the shit out of him, but it ends with the knife getting stabbed in the hand, which he had right in there, kind of like not obviously the exact thing, but and then the final shot is her standing over Michael with a knife, so he was like on the table. That's from one of the other Halloween movies.
Damn.
But I thought it was cool how he like stitched all that together based on the footage.
It looked like super legit.
Yeah,
it was really
super cool. I'm super, and another thing that I like to talk about with like Halloween Kills, movie's so divisive. It's successful in that regard. Most movies are actually divisive with the viewer audiences, but that movie really, and it's always like this with like slasher movies, and sometimes I wish people would just kind of like loosen the fuck up, because when you know what you're kind of getting into with slasher movies, so
Yeah.
you kind of have to be a little bit easy on them because they're pretty, I don't want to say similar nowadays, but the scare factor is definitely not as huge as like I remember the original Halloween. Like I actually got jump scared several times.
Well, it's just like once you've seen it, like you kind of know what to expect.
Exactly.
I think that's kind of what happened in the second one. Like going to watch it, like we already saw the first one, then we kind of know it's coming a little bit. So.
And with Kills, what I love to remind people of is people forget that like the gravity of it. So there was Halloween 2018. This Kills was in the exact same goddamn night. So when you think about the amount of people he murdered in one night, and then Halloween Ends, there's a 5-year time gap. Like that's kind of cool. Like where the fuck's he been for 5 years?
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But another thing with Kills, the goal with the movie was to make people realize why Michael Myers was such an iconic and like scary character. Like it was his movie essentially. Like you're meant to care for the actual victims, and that's where like obviously like the Tommy Doyle stuff, like that stuff kind of gets wonky. And I have a few opinions on one of the worst, arguably the worst scenes in the movie is when the dude jumps out of the hospital and kills himself. They mistook Michael for that motherfucker, and that was probably the weakest part of like the whole Evil Dies the Night.
I understood what they were going for, but like I was just like, this wasn't like believable. Like, there's no way anyone like actually think like maybe it was just me, but
the mob mentality, like that was a unique thing for the director to like want to shoot. He shot that before like the rioting happened in 2020, which is crazy. So he kind of like and Jamie Lee Curtis talked about how he kind of foreshadows like the metaphorical like relation of like what happened in the movie to like real life stuff. She said he has that like innate ability for some reason. He did something with the first one, but yeah, Kills was basically just Michael's movie, and like people who are fans of Michael Myers, like James Jude Courtney, who plays Michael now, he fucking kills that shit. His movement, he's athletic. He's arguably the most imposing Michael, most violent. Kills were gnarly in that movie, which I remember the first time we saw that shit.
The one where the girl, I forget.
He kicks the door.
Shoot, that was funny.
And then, dude, it's funny as fuck. But then he gets out of the car, and they had a badass shot of him, and he's just kind of like walking up and head tilting.
I think my favorite part of that movie was when, what's the granddaughter's name?
Allison.
Yeah.
Started fucking him up.
No, was that her that was getting chased in the woods where she was like hiding behind the trees? And
no,
stuff?
That was Lindsay. She's gonna be in Halloween Ends. So she in the original 1978 movie was the kid that Laurie was babysitting.
Oh, okay. I love those type of shots, dude. Where, like Michael's just like hunting one person.
Yeah, and he's just
that's what I feel like kind of was missing from the second one because they did have like the whole mob thing, which is cool. But it does kind of take away the scary part where like he's going out and hunting people like, just one by one. Like, that's kind of the scary parts of that movie.
Which that's I think an inspiration for Ends. Someone said, I think on either the production crew or a source that got to go on set, they basically said the vibes and the actual like look and feel of the movie is very similar to that 1978 one. Really? So I think that's really cool. Like I think it'll get better because the thing that I thought one of the most impressive things about Halloween Kills, regardless of what you feel about that movie, was the flashback sequence. That sequence, it looked like it was straight out of 1978.
Oh yeah, the way they
filmed it, dude.
That was really cool.
Christopher Nelson, bless you, Jesus God. That dude is a beautiful makeup artist. He's done some incredible work on these movies, and like he understands the Michael mask, every nook, cranny, detail. What he's done with it, with like the kills stuff, burning it, like made it look 10 times more badass. But
that was sick.
His work was super impressive on that flashback sequence because he made that mask look so much similar to the original mask in the original movie. Yeah. Which that was hard to pull off. And then the set and just the cinematography, even the cinematography was like similar to the feel of that movie. So regardless of what you think, that was cool as fuck to get people to like flashback, see where everything's come from. Ends, they're not gonna have to do any of that. Like obviously the trailers are gonna serve that purpose of flashing back to get everyone like caught up back to speed and like, okay, this is where we're at in the story. But Ends is just gonna be from start to finish about the current conflict. And Michael. So what's interesting is the running title for the production of the movie is called Cave Dweller. Yeah. So does that mean Michael's been hiding and he's just popping up out of nowhere?
Because it was 5 years after.
Yeah, and people talked about, I guess, a plot point in the movie that was debunked. People were like, oh, apparently they're going super hardcore into like COVID and how it affected the world in this movie, which I was like kind of nervous because like, bro,
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, but no, the director and the producer came out and said, you see after effects of COVID, but in an indirect way. We don't come out and blatantly throw it in your face.
Imagine Michael's wearing a COVID mask on top of his mask.
No, I just imagine everyone's quarantined as fuck trying to defend their home from Michael.
Oh, that actually be kind of sick.
Yeah,
like everyone's quarantined and he's coming to fucking people.
Yeah. But what's so crazy about the Halloween Kills being in the same night as 2018, even though it had the flashback, it's flashing forward 5 years, which is now 2022, 18 to 2022.
Oh shit!
So it stitches it together perfectly.
Oh, that's actually
and it keeps it in real time for us.
That's sick.
Yeah, so that's what's really cool about it. But the actor for Michael Myers actually is my phone over. That's my phone right there, right? Let me pull this up real quick. He posted something about the movie. I'll read this real quick. He posts hella, so give me 1 second. So he kind of posted this a little while back when it came to the end of the production of Halloween Ends. He said, "It's taken a few days for me to process the abject beauty of my experience working on this trilogy. The honor of working with David Gordon Green, Jamie Lee Curtis, Christopher Nelson, Ryan Turek, Emily Gunshore, Andy Matichak, Michael Simmons and their teams, and every other single magnificently talented department, especially producers, stunts, and SFX. Not to mention the rest of this incredible cast, and every single person who worked so hard to create for me what is on many levels the highlight of my career thus far, and more importantly, the distinct bright moments of my life. And my friends, this Halloween Ends is a fitting goodbye for me. My deepest gratitude to all the fans who have blessed us with the love and support. I can promise you we did this for you." And then I don't know where the other thing was, but he came out saying that before he shot a scene with Jamie Lee, they both kind of like cried their eyes out together before they filmed the scene because they said the scene's actually like very like poetic and beautiful.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh. And they said they're really looking forward to the like end of because Jamie kind of came out and said that the movie will piss people off, but they already know that because the people got pissed off in Halloween Kills. Like there's just that percentage of people out there that did not like the movie, but then there's a percentage of people that did like the movie. So you're not gonna please everyone. You never usually please everyone with a lot of movies.
Especially with, like, reboots and stuff. That's really hard, I feel like.
Yeah. One thing that I think they've done terrifically, though, is stay accurate and true to the original 1978 movie and stuck by that. Like, with the progression of the story. 2018 is undeniably my second favorite Halloween movie behind the original. Like, it's so good.
That one was so good.
Yeah. But Ends, I guess they had a beautiful moment before they filmed the final scene that they've shot together, and the producer actually came out and said he's seen the movie and that it's fantastic and that he's super excited for everyone to see the end. So even though it might make a couple people mad, I feel like they're gonna do a good job of ending it because it's Jamie Lee Curtis's like last. She definitively came out and said like this is the last movie I'm doing with this franchise. So the stakes are high. Will she die? Will she not? Will Michael die? Will he not? We don't know. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's another reaction video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
See you guys. Peace.